Welcome to the Stirring the Gumbo Pot podcast, the podcast about the history, the culture, and the accomplishments of Black people. This podcast aims to inspire, educate, empower, and celebrate the lives of Black folk. I am your host, the Cajun Peach, and thank you for tuning in. Now let's get this pot stirring. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of Season 2 of the Stirring the Gumbo Pot podcast. We are at the end of the year. This is the last day of December 31st, 2024, and it has been quite a year. My last episode was in June. I have been on hiatus. Life has been lifing. And I have just been going through some things in my life, so I had to take a step back, put the podcast on the back burner, put the gumbo pot on the back burner, so to speak, and get to life and take care of some things. And so now I'm back. So I just wanted to take this opportunity on this episode to catch up with you guys, just do a quick review of the things that has been going on out here in the world, because there's been some crazy things happening, right? I have quite a few headlines to just talk about. It's not going to be a long episode, but I just wanted again to check in with everybody, just to say hello, bid 2024 farewell, and also pay tribute to some of the notable African Americans who we've lost this year, right? And say goodbye to 2024, because like I said, it's been a crazy ride. So out with the old and in with the new. So here's to the last episode for Season 2 of the Stirring the Gumbo Pot podcast. Here we go. Ego Tripping by Nikki Giovanni. I was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving divine, perfect light. I am bad. I sat on the throne, drinking nectar with Allah. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the now. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert. With a packet of goat's meat and a change of clothes, I crossed it in 2 days. I am a gazelle, so swift, you can't catch me. For a birthday present when he was 3, I gave my son Hannibal an elephant. He gave me Rome for Mother's Day. My strength flows ever on. My son Noah built New Ark, and I stood proudly at the helm as we sailed on a soft summer day. I turned myself into myself and was Jesus. Men intoned my loving name. All praises, I am the one who would save. I sold diamonds in my backyard. My bowels deliver uranium. The filings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels. On a trip north, I caught a cold and blew my nose, giving oil to the Arab world. I am so hip, even my errors are correct. I sailed west to reach east and had to run off the earth as I went. The hair from my head thinned as gold was laid across 3 continents. I am so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal, I cannot be comprehended except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky. For this segment, the plan was to talk about news stories that made headlines in 2024, but I ended up changing my mind because I realized that the primary goal of this podcast is uplifting, honoring, and celebrating the lives of Black folk. It's not about highlighting negative news stories that we all probably tired of hearing about anyway. I had to remind myself that this is not a gossip news podcast, nor does it sensationalize or regurgitate news stories that one can find online just by going to CNN, TMZ, or any social media platform out there. I seriously spent all day yesterday researching, compiling, recording tracks, and was getting ready to go to edit. Then I changed my mind. All my hard work down the drain. I scrapped it. I changed my mind about talking about Diddy and Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, the 2024 presidential election that Kamala Harris didn't win, Not talking about Luigi Mangione, Project 2025, nor presidential immunity. All of those things are important to the African American community in some regard, but not today, not this episode. I'd rather stick to the authenticity and the original goal of what this podcast is about. So I changed my mind because honestly, I think we're all tired. This year has been draining. And as if all those news stories weren't enough, 2024 has been a year full of losses and unforeseen deaths. And I mean full because the list is pretty long and it doesn't even contain everyone, but rather the more notable ones. The ones who I believe made an indelible mark in history and in the African American culture. Out of respect to those who we've lost, the Stirring the Gumbo Pot would like to pay homage to the following people. May their souls rest in peace. Dexter King, January 22nd. Louis Gossett Jr., March 29th. O.J. Simpson, April 10th. Rico Wade, April 13th. John Amos, August 21st. Isaac Batman Scoop Freeman, August 30th. James Earl Jones, September 9th. DeQuantes Rich Homie Quan Lamar, September 5th. Frankie Beverly, September 10th. Tito Jackson, September 15th. Dikembe Mutombo, September 30th. Ken Page, September 30th. Cissy Houston, October 7th. Wanda Smith, October 13th. Quincy Jones, November 3rd. Nikki Giovanni, December 9th. President Jimmy Carter, December 29th. As I reflect on 2024, I am so grateful. I was challenged with some very difficult days, but they weren't all bad. I celebrated 57 years of life. I ended a toxic relationship. I traveled. I purchased a new home and sent my youngest child to college. I now have way more freedom than I've ever had. I am more courageous, more resilient, more faithful, and more determined, and the happiest I've been in a very long time. I welcome 2025 with open arms because I believe that it will be my best year yet. My hope for everyone listening to this podcast right now is for you to have a very happy and blessed 2025, and that it rewards you with peace, love, and happiness. Stay blessed, and I look forward to sharing more episodes with you in the new year. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Stirring the Gumbo Pot podcast. I really appreciate you all listening in and for being a supporter of the show. So in the spirit of Don Cornelius, I wish you all love,